the real world we are, as we know, we're in the middle of the pandemic as well. And anytime we see a sport saying, we're going to give this a whirl, and then it comes back and you see it. And even though there's no fans, it's like, okay, I kind of like it. And what we've seen over the first round and a half of the Charles Schwab Challenge. Who's in the clubhouse right now, Christopher? Right now?
Oh, the clubhouse leader right now is Harold Varner.
Harold Varner, okay. And to talk about all this is our friend from NBC and the Golf Channel, David Feherty, back here on the show. How are you, David?
Very well, Richie. Thank you for having me on.
It's good to see actual players playing competitive golf. Hey, look, I loved the Brady and Peyton and Phil and Tiger, and I loved the Dustin Johnson and Rory. I mean, and the rest of the guys getting back together, you know. But to me, this is the real deal. This is exciting. This is fun, right?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I was sort of expecting. I mean, and I, like you, was glad to see any kind of golf, you know, with the other stuff. But this was much better than, much more enjoyable than I expected it to be.
Why so?
Well, it's just the golf was so good. I mean, I thought these guys came back with a vengeance, ready to play.
And I guess this means that they've been working on their games a little bit, David, right?
Well, they had enough time. You know, that's like 3 times the length of the normal winter break. And I think it's really, I think it's done marvels for Jordan Spieth, for example. You know, who played beautifully yesterday.
Yeah, he also came out a house of fire earlier today. He birdied 4 of his first 9. It was pretty. It looked pretty good, and then you got a little bit of a double bogey there. What do you make of this? Is the thing that all my friends were talking about. Certainly last night when we were all chatting. Bryson DeChambeau it looks like he spent some time in a weight room during his quarantine.
Yeah. Oh, David. Yeah. Yeah, he is. If you look at the change that he's had over the last 18 months, I'm not sure how much weight he's put on, but it's pretty much all muscle. And he's so analytical about everything. It's the right muscles he's developing as well.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think that's going to? What is the whole point of bulking up if you're a golfer, David?
Well, I mean, he's just his swing is the type of swing that he can get more weight behind it. If you look at his driving statistics, he's put on about I think close to 30 yards, certainly like 25 yards in the last 18 months, and that makes a huge difference. That's 2 clubs or a club and a half these days, and if you take that away, you're going with 9 iron instead of 7 or something like that. I mean, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, Rory McIlroy is 8 under on the day right now. He is just firing at pins, and Varner is sitting in the clubhouse. What do you know about this kid, Varner? David?
He's one of the most popular kids out there. He's got a terrific sense of humor, really smart, and a terrific young player. And a great character. Really, he's a joy to be around.
Well, one of the things that we definitely took out of the 2 events for charity that we saw, again, headlined by one on NBC and the family of networks with Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy and that kid Wolf, and obviously Ricky Fowler and Tom and Phil and Tiger and Peyton is being mic'd up. Do you think that maybe some of the players wouldn't mind being mic'd up, sort of like an NFL player during these competitions with no fans, David?
With no fans, I think it's a terrific idea. And actually, even with fans, I've always been kind of in favor of maybe not the players, but the caddies, so that you get that interaction, between quite often it's more important what the caddy says. And, you'd get the peripheral, audio around it as well. I think it's certainly something worth thinking about.
Yeah, I guess maybe you just, I don't know if it just affects your swing or affects anything, your concentration, if you feel those battery packs somewhere. Ricky Fowler's the only one who's agreed to do it this week, Chris, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what
All right.
I said on the broadcast
Okay,
yesterday.
so it looks like at least somebody's going to be attempting to do it. I just don't know if it might be too much of a distraction for somebody, David.
Well, I mean, the equipment is so it's so small these days. I remember one of the early skins games that I did down in Mexico. I had to hit a shot with the headset and the waist pack hold on, and I had to recreate one of Jack Nicklaus's bunker shots. No pressure there, and I clean shanked it into a lady's shins. It was horrific, but the stuff is it's improved so much over the years. Now it's just a little sort of 2x3 pack, and one wire. So I don't really see that being a problem.
Well, that'd be good. What do you think of Koepka's mustache, David? What do you think of Brooks coming out of the quarantine with sort of
the nose furniture? Yes,
the nose furniture.
Is it sort of a 70s porno mustache? I'm not sure.
Well, I was gonna go Burt Reynolds, like that. But I mean, just coming out like that, and just hand on a hip, just with that sort of steel glare. I mean, that's a statement, don't you think?
It is a statement. Maybe he thinks people won't recognize him. I'm not sure.
I guess we'll know. We'll know again. I mentioned this the other day. We'll know if everybody is just going to be chill. And I know that the competition is a competition, but we take so many things for granted in this world, right? And that that now the sport is back and we're seeing it. That maybe we're a little bit more laid back. We'll know if it's the most laid back situation. If Koepka's standing in the middle of the fairway and Bryson DeChambeau's on his 18th look at something that's inside the leather, and Koepka's like, I don't care. We'll know that, right?
That would be more laid back, that's for sure. But one of the things I think is sort of an advantage to the new players. The only golf that we've seen on television like this is college golf. Where you get the kids out there, and there just aren't very many people around.
Right.
So some of the new recruits from the Corn Ferry Tour, whatever it may be. They may have a little edge there, or be a little more at home than some of the established players.
Mm-hmm. So walk me through. Were you watching this stuff over the weekend, David? Do you got a man cave? Do you got a situation set up? I mean, what does it look like to watch golf with David Feherty? David.
Well, I'm a bit of a germaphobe, so with the present situation, the whole lot. I actually watch in a full-length condom, even when I'm in the house. So it's kind of hard to communicate with me. But I've been half man, half mattress for about the last 4 months.
Yeah.
And at this time of the year at NBC, we wouldn't be doing much anyway.
Sure.
Watching TV with me, especially watching golf, it's not a particularly athletic endeavor, shall we say.
So, I mean, are you a talker? Do you eat something? What do you got going on, David?
Well, with the 6 feet apart thing, yes. I've had great difficulty keeping 6 feet between me and the refrigerator.
Okay.
And my two new pals are Ben and Jerry. There's generally some mastication going on.
Excellent use of mastication, David. Just fantastic. You know what that means, Chris? You know what that means?
I don't. I'm looking it up right now.
It means he's eating. David, you're talking over my guys here. Yeah, chewing. There's just some chewing going on. You're talking over him, but I got it. I got that one straight ahead. David, thank you for the time. Really appreciate it. Always enjoy our chats, big time. And enjoy watching the live golf, and I look forward to chatting more with you very soon.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Anytime.
Right back at you. And I enjoyed being on your show. David Feherty. We keep doing home and homes with each other. NBC Sports and Golf Channel analyst right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.